Oh yeah, today is my 50th
23rd
wedding
June.
anniversary.
Hey, Mazel Tov.
Okay, very good. No,
So, how
keep
many
up.
years did you say?
50, 50.
Okay.
I know
Ah,
you're ahead
Uh,
of me, but I'm getting there. I'm catching up.
as I say, keep up the good work.
Yes.
Hmm. There's a
Many
whole
more, Mr. Hashem, many
concept.
more.
I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah, no,
Okay, fine. So, yeah, this is, let's see, we're recording, Lou. You turn on the recording?
I did on this wonderful third day of
Okay,
June
very good.
for
Okay.
for Pierke Avos.
Yeah, very good. Good morning again. As Lou mentioned, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here, Yeshiva Sama Nafshi, Yerushalayim here of Zoom. This is our first year this morning, Pirkei Avos, learning the sixth parak. The Brisa dealing with the Mem Ches Nevarim Shetorah Niklas Mehem, and we are now in the Sif Katan here. I believe must be Kuf Yud Base, perhaps. Is that right? Did we mark it down? Kuf Yud Base?
I have marked down Kuf Yud Gimel. We had finished Kuf Yud
Okay,
Beit.
very good. Okay, Kuf Yud Gimel, there it is. Okay, yeah, very good. Who would like to volunteer to begin with the reading this morning?
I'll do it.
Fine, very good. Please begin.
Uh, uh, Chachim.
So this is Kuf Yud Gimel. Hamachkim es Raboy. Hamachkim, from that, the source of this word is Chachma, right? Chacham, Hamachkim. This is a verb form that he should make his Rav wise. He should make his Rav wise. So, who should?
Hashem.
Excuse me, Roy?
Who should make his Rav wise? Hashem.
The Talmidim should make the Rav wise.
How?
So you're asking how. So let's see. We'll learn and find out how they're supposed to do that. That's a good question. How they're supposed to do that. Machim is Rabba.
Right. These are the 48 ways of learning Torah or acquiring Torah. This is a advice to an individual, different things that
Your sound isn't very good for me. I don't know others.
this is advice to 8 ways in which he should go about acquiring the Torah. One
No.
of these ways is to make his teacher wise.
Right. So that's what Roy's asking. Is it's taken for granted that we know how to do that. So let's first see what he has to say about it. Then we'll try and clarify.
Okay.
Lamar, Af Atah Nase Gadol. That is to say, even you should be made great. Al-Pi Hashem,
And that afilu hachi.
I feel happy, even though yes, Yizkar, Advarim, Shema, Mirabo. What is this word? Nizar.
Even though that kishenizkir devarim shishman rav, even though that when he mentions things that he heard from his Rav, even though that kishenizkar, when he mentions Devarim, when he mentions things that he heard from his Rav,
Vayimtza Bahen Divrei Tema, and he finds in them things, what is Tema?
And things which are literally, that's what Tosa says. Tosa, when he starts a question, tamu or tema, which are questionable.
Questionable. So he's listening to his rabbi, and he's asking questions. He hears things that are questionable. Lo velar nishmat Rebbe hadavar sheyadahu. He doesn't say nishmat that he heard. From his Rebbe, something that he knew.
Right. So below Yomer, he should know. He should if when he's mentioning things that he heard from a Rebbe and he finds things which are questionable, he has questions upon what he heard. Lo Yomer shenishmat mirabo davar shiyaduahu. You shouldn't say that the nishmat was left out. Something from the Rebbe that was known. Don't say that he made a mistake and he mentioned something that he didn't bring it down completely.
I'm sorry, I'm not following. Don't say that the Rebbe made a mistake.
That's right. Don't say that the Rebbe made a mistake.
In that the Rebbe didn't explain fully what the questionable item was.
Right.
Okay, don't say that. Ella, Yomar, Sherebi, Shesherabo, Chacham, Gedol. Rather say that the Rebbe is a great sage. The Amko Vosav Mimenu. What is Amko?
That he should say that rather what that not that the Rebbe left something out that he made a mistake. Rather, you should say the Rabbi Chacham Gadol, his Rav is very a great Chacham Gadol. He's very wise. Va'amuk b'makshavosav mimenu, and he should delve into the Rebbe's thoughts, words, which and he should put and expend efforts to establish the words in a proper way. Meaning, if there are things that he doesn't understand, so he should go into the whole issue, and he should endeavor as much as possible to establish the words as he remembers them. That people have a tendency, as soon as they don't understand it, and they don't understand something, they reject it and they don't put any efforts worth of trying to understand the words. But rather, that's not the proper way. The proper way is that he should spend time to try and understand the words properly, even if he does. Apparently, they don't seem to be understood well at the onset. But he should put effort into understanding the words as he remembers them being said.
How is that making his teacher wise?
So that's it's his. See, it's not what you would think. This explanation is not saying he's making his Rebbe wise. That's not what it means here. It means that he should give credit to his Rebbe for being wise. Machim es Rabba, meaning he should give credit to his Rebbe as being wise. Meaning because if a person hears something, right? If he hears something and it doesn't make sense to him, right? Usually what a person is going to attribute the not making sense to, the person's not not intelligent. It's not. He's not correct. The person who's saying something he doesn't understand is incorrect. But that's not the attitude you have to have with a person who's a Rebbe, because the fact that the Rebbe is in a position of teaching him, so in order to receive the teachings properly, he has to be able to delve into the words of the Rebbe in a way that even if things on the onset initially don't seem to make sense to him, right? He has to give the words of what the Rebbe is saying enough credence that he's willing to expend energy and efforts to try and understand the truth of what's being said, even though initially he may not understand them. But if a person's not going to do that, I mean, as soon as something comes up and it's a difficult, not all the concepts and halachas and hashkafas that you encounter in Torah are simple and taken for granted. Sometimes you have to really work with a lot of efforts to try and understand the true meaning and the absolute truth of what they mean. And if a person's not going to give and spend the opportunities available to him to understand these things in a positive, constructive way, so he's going to dismiss many things that he doesn't understand at the onset, and that's wrong. That's not the way he's supposed to be learning Torah. He's supposed to learn Torah as that what the Rebbe is teaching him is truth, and if it's difficult to understand, he has an obligation to try and put himself out, understand it by putting forth great efforts in trying to understand it, rather than to just dismissing it as not being true. And the way the person's supposed to do that, he's supposed to give the status of wisdom to his Rebbe. So that's what it means here. In this context, this explanation is Machkim es Rabo. Doesn't mean that he is going to make the Rebbe wise. The Rebbe is already wise. He's already smart. He's already gadol b'Torah. So the Talmud is not going to make the Rebbe wise. This explanation is saying that since the Rebbe is already wise, what the Talmud has to do is Machkim es Rabo. He must attribute the wisdom to his Rebbe. By attributing wisdom to his Rebbe, he'll take it seriously what he's saying, even though initially he may not understand what the true meanings are. And therefore, knowing that the Rebbe is saying something truthful and something with wisdom, therefore he'll put himself out and expend the energies and endeavor to try and understand the proper words of the Rebbe in a way that's supposed to be correct. In contrast, if he doesn't give the Rebbe that benefit, so then he's going to encounter things that are difficult to understand, and he's not going to give the Rebbe the benefit that he's saying something true and wise, and therefore will come to ignore it.
Yeah, so you can sort of say what you've been doing. You've been using the word understand a lot there. So instead of using the word wise, substitute the word understand, understandable, which the word wise can also have that connotation.
Very good.
In English, yeah, it does. Yeah, make him wise can mean also to make him understandable. It's
right.
it's a similar word in a way.
That's right, exactly. You should come to have an understanding of what the Rebbe's words are, what the Rebbe's teaching. Come to have an understanding of what the words of the Rebbe's teaching. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Eddie, is that better? Is that clear?
Yeah, it's different from what I had always thought that this meant that by the student asking questions that are piercing kind of questions that cut to the essence of the matter, he would make his realize.
Let's see, I didn't hear your full statement, Blue. Your
Yeah.
audio went out.
Yeah, Lou, it's difficult.
I had always
He-
understood, I had always understood that,
Better. Good.
making you read the
No.
lines, meant, that you asked him questions. And because the questions cause him to think more deeply about the subject, he learns the subject himself better.
Yeah, that's also true. That also, I mean, there's more than one way to understand what this means. Don't forget, this is a brisa. These are different chazal. The words of chazal are definitely able and should be understood in different ways and different dimensions for sure.
Right. Okay, Doctor?
That's right. Let's continue on.
S, with oso. What is this word? Hama oso? I'm saying shit, shimoso. Shimoso. What's the name to him?
Shmua so again, this is only a half quote of what it says in the brisa. Let me give you the proper full quote. It's supposed to be that yeah. Hamechavein es shemuaso. Hamechavein es shemuaso. Okay. Hamechavein, meaning that's from kavana, kivun, direction, which direction or intent, right? Hamechavein es shemuaso. We'll have to see how that means, but that's what's explained. There's only last word as shemuaso, but mechavein es shemuaso. This is also referring to the words of referring to the words of the Rebbe, that he's mechavein the words of the Rebbe.
Mechavein means to understand, right?
No, mechavein is when you align. Literally, it means to like align. You align his words. What does it mean to align his words? Let's see. We'll see a better way to explain it when we get further into the text here. Let's see how he explains. Then I'll tell you how it fits in with the word align. Align. You should align his words. What does that mean?
Words.
Yes. Shmua, so is his shmua, meaning his teaching.
His teaching. Okay. Russell Lamar, Kit, Ibrahim, Rabo, Reem, Zeh, Korea, the Kavanam. That is to say, even like the words of the rabbi, so dream. I don't know so dream.
So, Russell Ma'af, Kishimid Divrei Torah, so as some from the word steer, they're contradicting one another.
This. You got Triad with Kavanam. What's that Triad?
So he should expend efforts. He should endeavor.
Okay, to what? Kavana, is that like Kavana?
Lechavnan, to reconcile them, Right, so it means the mechaven shmua. So So that means to literally, like I said, to align his teachings. What that means, what's loma rabbi even when the words of the Rebbe are contradicting one the other, yitzrarech, he should put forth efforts to reconcile them, as that they shouldn't be
contradictory.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, all right. B'shem Omro. In the name of the one who said, Lo, Miboye, Shelo, Nis, Bavash. The Talmud, but the Talmud, She'eno Shelo. He doesn't, it's not necessary, he doesn't need, what's Mishalah? I'm sorry, Misbalash.
Right. So it says this says b'shem omer lomer boy shalo yis lavesh v'talash shena shalo. It's usually an analogy. He says lomer boy. It's not necessary to teach you. He shouldn't yilavosh v'talash shena shalo. He shouldn't plagiarize. Literally, it means plagiarize, but he literally means he shouldn't yilvash. He shouldn't wear a talis that's not his.
I see, he didn't wear. Alex, it's not his. Ella, Yichbad, the motto, Kol Kach, Shalom Yomar, Sam, Kach, Shalito, Samati, rather, what is Yichbad?
That's excuse me, to respect.
Rather, we should respect the teaching so much so that he doesn't say anything that he heard. That I heard.
That's right. So he says like this that Eli Yechabit mitla Talmudai Kochak Shlo Yom Stam Kak Shemati. He should give respect to what he's learning, so much so that he shouldn't simply say anonymously what he heard. Kak Shemati.
Rock. Excuse me. Rock Yatsir Shemo rather, I'm sorry, only she mentioned the name for a blessing.
Right. You should rather mention the name of the person who we heard it from, livracha, for a blessing, right?
Okay, maybe he brings the redemption into the world. To me, she'osa davar tov. He makes a good thing for himself.
Right, meaning maybe it's explaining me the Kol Omer B'Shem Omer Mevi Gula La'olam. Anyone who says something in the name he heard it from that brings the Gula to the world. Why? Shemisha also Davar Tov. Somebody who does something good. Misha also Davar Tov. Somebody that does something good.
Akadosh Baruch Hu chafetz these are some shem ha'ametim v'dar kam olam. Somebody who does something good, Hashem, chafetz is the desire.
That HaKadosh Baruch Hu desires, she is farnes shem ametiv b'darka ba'olam. Person that does something good, it's the HaKadosh Baruch Hu's desire that to publicize the name of the one who did the good and his ways of behavior and his behavior in the world.
V'yu mado achirim mimenu. And he teaches others from him. That is Hashem teaches others through the person.
Right. That his example can be used as a way of teaching others. Other people will emulate him and his good deeds.
Right. The shame of Mordecai, in the name of Mordecai.
Right. Because the proof of this was brought that Esther said to Achashverosh b'shem Mordecai, and that was one of the catalysts of the redemption that took place in the time of Mordecai and Esther.
Right. The Hare, Mordecai, Asa, Kidush Hashem Gadol. That we see that Mordecai did a great sanctification of Hashem's name. The Hudia, Eid HaYehudi, Nehemar, the Malko, that he made known how the Jews spoke about the king.
So he's explaining here what was the great Kiddush Hashem that happened through Mordecai. The idea to explain how Yehudi Neman Lamako. Look how this Jew is so loyal to the king. It made a big Kiddush Hashem that Mordecai was loyal to the king and was not involved with the plot to kill the king.
Loyal to the king. Right.
Right. Neman Lamako, loyal to his king.
Shaharei he's taken im bet shari gedolim today lahatil malcho, that we see what is this?
Excuse me?
This word Isakane.
Yisaki, from the word sakana, he put himself in danger with these two great ministers.
Ah, Sarim, the two ministers, Godolim. This is Bixan and Koresh.
Excuse me?
This is these two people are Bixan and Koresh we're talking about.
That's right. That's right.
In order to rescue the king.
Like that. Yeah, don't mean you should realize we don't really, think about it too much, but should realize the situation Mordecai was putting himself in by going against these two plotters against the king. Sometimes you have maybe you'll see in the kids' picture books, man, they portray these two fellows as like, drunks, unshaven beards and, like kind of half crazy looking people, these assassins of the king. But no, these were two ministers. They were very powerful. They controlled a lot of people. They controlled a lot of finances and very influential. And if they would get any thoughts and suspicions that Mordecai was about to inform upon them, they would have had Mordecai eliminated. They would have snuffed them out, right? These were at least as big as any big mafioso, and Mordecai wasn't intimidated by that. Mordecai said he has a responsibility to be loyal to the king, and he wasn't afraid of how powerful they might have been and how endangered he might have been to save himself by not informing upon them. To inform upon them wasn't 100% that they were going to be indicted. It wasn't 100% even if they wouldn't be indicted, they wouldn't be convicted. Right? If I'm not mistaken, if you remember your Megillah Esther, after Esther told the king about this, the king investigated it, right?
Right.
Even though the queen was telling me this, he didn't take it, he didn't have them immediately killed. In the meantime, Mordecai was in dire danger. They could have found out that Mordecai was the informer, and they would have taken vengeance on him.
אולי המלך המבוהל והטפש ההוא this Hashem? Hey, you. Mokel Lahem. He wasn't afraid that perhaps the king, I don't know what this word Hamavohil is.
Maybe it could be, meaning, who Loya Hoshes Avil Hamelech Hamuval Ratipish Shahu Moichelem. He wasn't afraid this nonsensible, irrational king might, in fact, pardon them. There was a very strong possibility Achashverosh might have pardoned them, and if they were pardoned, then Mordecai would be in dire straits.
I need Zion, I don't know.
Chayav Teluyim Besara. Through this, meaning through Mordecai exposing their plot, he was putting his life on the line.
Olam al yedei she'amra Esther le'achashverosh hamaseh b'shem Mordecai. That it was said by Esther to Ahasuerus, what was done in the name of Mordecai. Yisgalgal hadavar she'al yedei zeh ba geula le'olam. What is Yisgalgal?
However, through that, what Esther said to Achashverosh about this, a plot in the name of Mordecai in this Galgel, consequently, a dover, it consequently brought this thing, that consequently through this thing, it brought the Geula La'olam.
Lo levad geulas taras haguf ela geulas hanefesh. Tik ravo Israel la'avim sher b'shamayim. And not only a redemption of the body, but a redemption of the soul, and a repairing of Israel, who are their Father in heaven.
Right, that that it wasn't simply a physical redemption from the Tsaras Haguf, the distress of the goof, meaning Claudius was threatened with the decree of Haman that they would have to risk their lives and they would be exposed to enemies that were given permission to do the worst. And that was a physical threat and a physical sakana, physical danger, but also was a gulas nefesh. It was also through this resulted in a redemption of the souls of the Jewish people as well. Our Ruchnius was also had a new start with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. And it was his Karvu Yisrael Avinu Sheshamayim. It drew the Jewish people closer. His Karvu, they drew them closer, the Jewish people, to their Father in heaven. Through what happened in Shushan and the miracles that took place, that brought us to a what the Gemara calls Gimlu Kiblu. We accepted the Torah anew. We enhanced our relationship with the Kadosh Baruch Hu.
That's
Okay,
all,
that brings us
folks.
to the end of the, excuse me?
I said, that's all, folks.
Yeah, that's right. No, you like that. That brings us to the end of this document. And that means, excuse me, that means I'm going to prepare a new document to send you out this more afternoon or this evening, Be'ez Hashem, for tomorrow. So unless there are any questions on this, we can we'll close now and we probably 9:45 already. It's pretty good timing. And you can look forward to something else in the new document for coupling within the next 24 hours, Be'ez Hashem, 23 hours.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Shkai,
Okay. Roy, have a good afternoon. Thank you,
Thank you.
Lou. And we're going to start the Mr. Brashear shortly and take a short break.